In episode 58, we speculated about Goku Black's origins, but was Toriyama just trying to pull out strings to hide the truth? Hello there, beautiful friends from around the world. I will be your host, Blackenfist.
And today I am joined with Geekdom 101, and we're going to be doing a video on Goku Black, Black Goku, whatever you want to call him. He's potentially a god of destruction, and I know what you guys are saying, Blackenfist. There is no concrete answer to that question, and I know you're going to say it in the comments, but you know what? I usually don't do these type of videos, but I was just too tempted to do it because there is some serious evidence to suggest that Black Goku is indeed a god of destruction. Let me lay out the case for you right now. Now, earlier in this arc, in episode 55, Beerus and Whis were having a conversation about the Omni King and how Goku shouldn't act up in his presence. But one weird thing that I didn't think was a big deal at the time I saw it was Whis brought up the fact that the gods of destruction and the Kaioshin are linked, that if one of them dies, the other perishes as well. It's almost very similar to the way Kami and Piccolo were, and that's kind of the connection I drew at the time. However, as we learned more about Black Goku, but especially Zamasu, I started to speculate about things, and then I started to connect a couple dots. Now, obviously, there has been very little information about Black Goku, what he is, and what are his origins. All we know is that Black Goku is pretty much Goten from all the Akira Toriyamas on the internet. Dragon Ball Super says Black Goku, whoever he is not occupying his original body, and that's all we have. But Zamasu, we have learned much more. Of course, he is the Supreme Kai of Universe 10, and as we know, the future Zamasu is an immortal, pretty much making him impossible to kill. However, what if Goku Black is a god of destruction of Universe 10, his counterbalance? Not only would this connection make sense in the fact that Zamasu and Goku Black are working together, but it also might create a potential loophole to stopping Zamasu, because if Goku Black dies, that might inadvertently kill Zamasu. Now, I know that that's not concrete proof, but I want to point out to you something here, and basically what it is that little tidbit of Beerus and Whis talking about the Kais and the gods of destruction being paired. It seemed like information with no purpose, unless it might play a part in the future. This is not far-fetched. Dragon Ball has done this in the past. The most recent example is in Resurrection F, when Whis offhandedly brought up the fact that he could manipulate time, and later on in that movie, that technique did play a role, but at the time it just seemed like a very offhand thing to say. And what I'm saying here is that Whis offhandedly mentioning that the Kais and gods of destruction are paired does serve a purpose for later in this arc. But maybe Geekdom 101 will be a voice of reason in this, or maybe he'll agree with me, but I really want to hear your thoughts on this.
Well, yeah, there's been an awful lot of foreshadowing, and it all started with Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 15, and then as you stated on Dragon Ball Super the anime, when we found out that Beerus and the Kaioshin, the gods of destruction, the gods of creation, are indeed a set. And it does seem like the foreshadowing served two purposes. Number one, it helped explain why there is no future Beerus to interfere in the destruction that Black is causing. And number two, it may also, as you stated, be possible foreshadowing of a way to get around the loophole of Zamasu wishing for immortality. Now, we do know that Zamasu goes to Zuno, and Zuno tells him of the Super Dragon Balls and of Goku, and as a result, Zamasu makes a wish to the Super Dragon Balls. Then, of course, there's the question, well, how did he end up in the future? Well, we've already been told about the time rings, and we know that a new time ring is created every time that a new timeline is created. So, is it really that abstract or that out of the question that Zamasu may not have gone in there, stolen the time ring that pertains to future Trunks' future, and then left? Or possibly Zamasu will go and recruit the Universe 10 God of Destruction and take him to the future. But then, of course, that begs the question, what about the Universe 10 of the present? Who's there to be the balance and counterbalance? Who's going to be the guy of creation and destruction? But still, it does seem convenient that we get this new information, and it's very possible that the destruction of Zamasu will happen because Black's gonna die, and because of the rules of the Omniverse that were set by the Omni King state that a Kaioshin cannot exist without a god of destruction. If they kill one, the other dies. Therefore, it's a loophole. It's a way out of the corner they've written themselves in, if that makes sense.
Well, I do want to mention one thing though, because let's grant that Goku Black is indeed a god of destruction. Because we don't know the intricacies of how these rules and the mechanics of how this works, maybe perhaps perhaps it works in the opposite direction. Because Zamasu is immortal, maybe that makes Goku Black immortal as well.
But then we're gonna have to figure out how they're gonna get out of that one.
That is true, and the reason I think that that scenario is less likely, if indeed Goku Black is the god of destruction, is because that kind of seems like a harder thing to write yourself out of. However, I don't think that possibility can be taken off the table. Because, as I said before, we really don't know the intricacies of how these rules work.
In other words, we don't know how the gods of destruction or creation are assigned. Toriyama said in an interview that the gods are created from a tree, and we haven't seen any reference to the Shinjin tree whatsoever in the Dragon Ball Super manga or anime, or even in Battle of Gods. So has that been forgotten about? We don't know, but we know he stated that. But it does appear to be the case, because the constant recreation of Kais doesn't appear to be happening.
That is correct, but I think that that's pretty much the case I laid out here. I want to just disclaimer to you guys, I know that there's going to be some people there. What I am not saying is that this is 100% fact. This is just my speculation, and I just connected these dots and I just had to share it with everyone else. And in that case, please tell me what you think of this theory and how likely it is, and if you see a loophole in it, please tell me. I would appreciate that.
And understand there are some unanswered questions. We don't know how the god of destruction of Universe 10, if it is Goku Black, how did he get Goku's body? Did Zamasu make a pit stop and pick up Goku's corpse in the future in Trunks' timeline? Some people have theorized that because he's holding his chest. Maybe there are clues there, you know, and during the first fight. But there's still a lot of unanswered questions, but I do believe we're going to have the answer very, very soon. I would say within the next 3 or 4 weeks, we're going to know who Goku Black is, I think.
Absolutely, but please, guys, go subscribe to Geekdom 101's channel. This guy brings you the quickest news anyone will give you on YouTube. So if you want that, if you want topics, if you want anything in life, go subscribe to Geekdom 101.
Anyways, I would like to thank you all for watching today. My name is Blackenfist, and I'm out, man.